Like I can't spend $15 to get a ticket to a PBC.
I wonder what the Jarrett Hurd Jermel Charlo unification is going to be to that website if this was the most anticipated match.
Are you going to even out who said that?
Nah, I'm not going to do that. I don't do that. It's just he know if he's listening, he knows. He knows who wrote it.
You should tell me who, and then I would out him, and then I'd be the bad guy. And then I'd go on Twitter and find it and harass him on Twitter. WBSS Groves KOs Cox in 4. What is the World Boxing Super Series? Like what the hell? World Boxing Super Series. WBA Super Middleweight Champion George Groves retains his title with a 4th round KO over previously unbeaten Jamie Cox on Saturday night in a World Boxing Super Series quarterfinal clash in London. Of course, it wasn't televised anywhere in the United States. Fuck. Actual boxing is not being televised.
Again, it just seemed like an outclassed opponent, Lee.
Wait, I can say this safely. World Boxing Super Series. Love your fights. They're the best fights ever. Doesn't matter because none of the fights are in the United States, and there's no need.
Well, we're getting there now, though. The Eubank Jr. and Groves fight is going to take place now, Lee. So that's what they needed, and it's been delivered.
Con Brook on the back burner.
Skipped it.
I'm over it. Con Brook. Wait, let me try to say it with like it actually matters to me. Con versus Brook. Oh, the disappointment. Amir Khan says the grudge match. Shit, there's no grudge match, bro. You're a has-been and Brook's a has-been. You're both beaten. What is he talking about? Like, the world is waiting to see Khan and Brook. Nobody is. Nobody.
These guys are.
Dude, they couldn't sell an arena out. They wouldn't sell an arena out. Brook is broken and Khan is broken. And guess what? Nobody wants to promote it. What a shocking surprise. Khan is like, I need 2 fights. You should just retitle that, I need 2 checks before I take my final defeat in this sport. Cal Brook would beat Amir Khan. We all know what Khan's doing here. He knows if he goes into the Brook fight, it's over for him, right? He's not selling another fight after that. He wants 2 checks. He don't want 2 fights. He wants 2 checks. Yep, I agree. It's like the whole thing is BS.
We're over Khan. Amir, we're all over you. Look at the guy. He's so foolish. Lee, he's on the internet, one of his social media feeds the other day. Did you see posting pictures of him saying, I need to go sleepy or I need to go to bed or some shit? And there's hella people just tweeting all the times he's been knocked out.
He should be comfortable with it. He should have seen
that one coming, man.
Announced this week, thanks to Bob Arum, who's somebody runs his Twitter. I follow Bob Arum on Twitter, and I think it's funny. There's no way Bob Arum is actually writing this stuff on Twitter. But it is
Bob
amusing.
Don't even know what the hell Twitter is.
Bob is not with us. Bob is checked out a while ago.
Yeah.
Bob checked out a while ago. I'm going to be really honest. I've gone to the last couple of fights, and I've seen Bob. He's like your grandfather. He's cute. He's in the room. And he just kind of rambles on, and they make sure. I love Bob, but he's just a figurehead. Lomachenko versus Rigondeaux. I'm still stuck that Lampley got an extension. How did we? Fuck. Lomachenko, Rigondeaux. Tickets go on sale. Tickets went on sale for the December 9th fight. They were sold out in about a day. It's a big deal. It's going to be a big fight. Madison Square Garden Theater. It's a good fight. Yay for Top Rank. They'll probably drop it on ESPN, I'd imagine, wouldn't they?
Yes, I think it is going to ESPN.
As it should be.
I think that's already been. I think all Top Rank's fights, really, Lee, unless they're pay-per-view, they're going to be aired on ESPN now.
They're smart. Dude, they're away from that HBO Showtime thing finally.
The boxing world needs to respond, though. You know, we need to do a better job of getting these numbers higher for this network. The network is hurting. Everywhere you look at in the sports world, everyone says ESPN is hurting right now. They need viewerships. They need people to come back buying their subscribers, right? They're losing like hundreds of thousands of subscribers a month, supposedly. So they need that back. This is a good avenue. Boxing can bring you views. If you have the certain fighters that are airing on your network, oh yeah, we can bring millions of views. But as of right now, Lee, I think Manny Pacquiao is the only one that's really done great numbers for them. Everything else seems to be just about average of what you see anywhere else. And that needs to stop, because the level of competition and the production that the Top Rank is putting on ESPN passes everything else, right? It's
they're killing it. They're literally
HBO
killing
level,
it.
and so we need to do a better job of trying to promote these fights to get more viewerships, and that's the boxing world in a whole.
Remarkably,
not just
I don't have to try that hard, and I can say whatever I want, and I get approved for credentials. I don't even know.
And not only but what I mean is when I put it out there to watch the fight on the ESPN telecasts, I put a little bit more into it. Like I will try to sell that one, because to me, those fights are going to save this sport. If we're going to become a mainstream sport, if Top Rank is going to stay on ESPN for years to come, we need to do great numbers on these. And just doing 1 million is not the type of numbers that are going to keep these type of fights on free television. I'm sorry. You will go back to ballroom fights, Tuesday night fights, sort of like that, and get the same, just about the same numbers.
Yep, I agree. Which takes us to HBO signing Lampley to a multi-year contract. I had talked about, I don't know, did we talk about it last week? Or I talked about it on Twitter.
Maybe that's what it was, yeah.
Maybe. I've talked about this since the guy re-signed. Did we cover this last week? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, for everybody, because I feel like this joke I'm about to tell is already a week old. Have you ever noticed every black and Mexican comic do an impression of a white guy the same way? Like a stick up their ass? I'm the white guy. You know the impression I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, they're doing an impression of Jim Lampley. It's true. Right. Think about it.
Oh, you can say Bob Costas.
No, Bob Costas has a deep voice. Jim Lampley sounds like a prototypical white guy with a stick up his ass. I'm over Jim Lampley. He restates the obvious like it's authoritative.
What I think happens, Lee, is these guys get burnt out on these fights. They get burnt out on what they always have to go with the masses, right? So they always got to talk about controversial decisions. They can never be too opinionated to one side, or all of a sudden they're the ones working for HBO. Like, oh my God forbid, they come out and say, I thought Canelo did actually good against Triple G. Do you know how much they would have been crucified by the masses that had Triple G winning? I mean, come on. So I think they get burnt out. I think it becomes a job to them more than a passion. When you heard Jim Lampley back in the day, there was a certain thing about his voice that you knew the man was connected to the fight. He said it out of emotion. You don't get that from Lampley anymore. It's a lot of fake emotion out of Lampley now. You've seen the same thing with Merchant before he left. They're just
anytime he has to use the word drama when explaining him, look at the drama within the fight. Okay,
Did you see how old he is? I didn't even know Lampley was that old.
What is he, 80?
No, it's I think he's 70. He's almost close to 70 years old.
I assumed he was that old, bro.
Yeah, he's doing this.
Believed it.
He's been doing this for a while, so it's not a knock that, every fight doesn't get this guy up in his chair anymore. I mean, yeah, I'm sure the big fights do. I'm sure when the days that make you feel like you're, back in the Tyson and De La Hoya era, I'm sure that's all great. And you can go farther back. I'm just keeping it relevant to today's audience. Yeah, you can say he gets up on those type of fights. Canelo Triple G rematch, I'm sure you're going to hear the passion in Lampley's voice, but it's everything in between. It's when they do become a little bit biased on it, like, what boxing was going through, and we've talked about it for years now, is because everyone's stuck to their own network, these networks really can't dog these fighters anymore. Before, sometimes these networks would be honest to you, and they'd say, you know what? Okay, Austin Trout has lost 5 times now to like every good fighter he's ever faced. It's time to let him go. It's time for Austin Trout. They would announce things like this, say things like this. Well, they can't do that anymore when that's the only pond you're choosing from. Now it's, oh, it was a close fight. No, it wasn't. He lost 18-10. Oh no, it was, a lot more competitive than that. There was 3 rounds that I thought he did good. Stop it. You're bullshitting to the crowd. You're to the audience because you guys have nothing else to choose from. And I think that has hurt Jim Lampley's commentating a lot too in the last few years. And you see it big time with Showtime because Showtime has a lot of inexperienced, not knowledgeable fight fans or fight commentators that are trying to call the fights, and they've got to keep these guys relevant because that's all they're choosing from. Showtime's even worse, but yeah, HBO Lampley, he's turned into a robot. I'll say. I think it's more like just a job to him right now.
Yeah. You have stronger feelings. I just don't like Jim Lampley anymore. I think at one point Jim Lampley was impressive and he did something and it was interesting to me. And I remember interviewing him. Look, and he's a super nice guy. So I can't put over the fact how nice a guy he actually is, okay? For those of you wondering, Jim Lampley is one of the nicest and approachable
humans. Too smart for boxing?
Maybe.
Probably, yeah.
When you're stating the obvious, it's kind of over. You're not calling the action. You're trying to enhance the action, which I don't think you need to do. That's just me. But when I call a fight, I try.
His call on the George Foreman fight, his call on the De La Hoya fight, even with Fernando Vargas when he talks about the left hook seconds before the left hook lands. He has some great calls. Like I said, you would hear the cracking in his voice. You would feel the emotion come through the TV as he called these fights, and that hasn't been there for a while. And really, they start sounding like the old guys. Well, it's not like the days of before. Remember, that's like all Merchant kept
saying.
Yeah,
but they're stuck in the Gotti. They're stuck in the Gotti era, and I get that. I mean, that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants a barn burner, and that's not boxing today.
Lee, let's remind the fans. Last night, somebody described Lubin Charlo as the most anticipated American fight this
year. How are you not outing this person?
Fucking joke. Come on, let's move on.
Did somebody really write that?
Yes, I'm telling you. I'll tell you.
If you send it to me, I'll say it out loud. Where did you see it? I got to find it now.
You got to find it. Yep.
Charlo versus Lubin. Wait, most anticipated fight
in America this year.
In America this year. Let's see how good the Google machine is today.
Oh.
No. Boxing scene is line position 1. No. They talk about that headline doesn't come up. Too bad. I tried, and Andrew's not going to out it, so I'm disappointed. Maybe if I put it into the Twitter, maybe somebody was stupid enough and did it into the Twitter machine. Let's look in the Twitter machine, everybody.
Everyone on FightNet is going to be looking for this.
No results, anybody. Sorry, I'm on the Twitter machine, people. I tried. I would out that shitty writer in a heartbeat. Where are we? Jeff Horn versus Gary Cochran set now for December 13th. It was announced that Australian Jeff Horn will defend his WBO title against England's Gary Cochran. Why did this make? First of all, why did this make news?
How do you go from Manny Pacquiao Lee to Gary Cochran? Doesn't that sound like a comedian? That don't even sound like a fighter. That sounds like that stand-up comedian. What's the other guy, the white dude's name? Always makes all the black jokes and thinks he can because he has the black girlfriend. Gary what?
Gary. Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah, that's who he sounds like he's fighting. Hell, Gary Cochran. Come on, Jeff Horn. I don't know. Bad move. I should have went with the story under it. Way better move. If he sold 51,000 seats with Manny Pacquiao, what would he have done with the guy next?
No, I agree.